Hello Internet. Today we have this laptop in for repair. It came with a small bag with a piece of Wi-Fi antenna. Not sure where it came from, and I don't recall customer saying anything about it. Instead, customer said no power after use of liquid metal, and after trying to power it on, nothing happens. Perfect. We now know it's dead. Let's take it apart and see what we can find. No sign of liquid on the drain pan. Do we have a short in the battery terminals? No, we do not. Then I looked under a microscope and saw this.
Oh my god!
An antenna cable wedged into the USB-C port. Not sure why. Hopefully 5 volt was not shorted to the data lines. That will spell a disaster for the hub. But no short here, and even the voltage drop reads the same. Very lucky indeed. Either way, I can't really do much with the cooler in place, so let's take the cooler off and do some measurements. I am not looking for anything specific, since I don't know what readings I should be getting and where. Instead, I am looking for something short. But after poking around for long enough, I find nothing suspicious. Supplying power to the laptop and looking at it with thermal camera shows no signs of life whatsoever. And on top of that, for some unknown to me reason, the charger does not have any voltage on it. But regardless, using my own power supply did not help, so let's take this thing further apart and do some close-up investigations. Here is the thing. I should be getting 3.3 and 5 volt. Those are the standby voltages. I, however, get none of that. None of them are short, and I get 0 volt on both. Not sure which one is to go up first, but my best guess is 5. So let's have a look. The chip that generates 5 volt is on the back of the board. There. Looks like some corrosion on this capacitor. This is a filtering capacitor, and since it measures short on the chip side, it can either be a shorted capacitor, or chip, or both. Let's remove the capacitor and see. There.
Short is gone.
Which means the short was on the capacitor. Now let's power the board and see if it helps. The board is still cold and the voltages are still not there. Great. Let's continue digging around some more. The multimeter says we have no voltage there, but the board view says that this is the voltage in pin. Basically, main voltage supply for this chip. That voltage in must come from somewhere, so let's have a look. Bingo! We have a blowout. There's no short or voltage before or after this diode, which means replacing this diode will have no change since it has no voltage to pass through. But we're gonna replace it anyway and see what happens. Now I am not entirely sure why there's no voltage on this side of the diode. It should have some kind of voltage that may be coming from these MOSFETs on the right. I don't know. I'm not a laptop expert. I'll look at those later if needed. Right now, my main concern is this diode. I don't have the exact same size, so I'll just solder whatever. At least for now. Too bad, nothing has changed. Still 0 volt on both ends. Now what about this thing? I don't know what it is, and it does not appear to be short. It has 19 volts on one of its pins. Maybe a diode of sort. I wanted to replace it just in case, but I don't have one like that, so I had it ordered, as well as that other one. And while those are being delivered, I wanted to look around some more. What if I try to power the board with a USB-C? Nothing. But if we power it with the power supply and the USB-C at the same time, the laptop wakes up. All voltages are there, but only with the USB and charger plugged in at the same time. Let's see if it will power with the battery. No luck. One of the diodes finally came in, and as you can see, I ended up ordering the wrong size. Does it matter? Not really. For testing purposes, I can use whatever, if I manage to get it soldered, so let's try. There. Board powered right away. Perfect. We found the problem. A week later, the correct parts have finally arrived, so let's solder them on. Test it if the power comes on as expected. Partially assemble the laptop. Press the power button, and there.
We have picture!
Perfect. What's left now is to remove old dried up thermal putty and paste, apply new, and right before I wanted to seal the deal, I found where that antenna connector came from. The end of the black wire here is damaged, and these wires are part of the monitor assembly. And I don't have anything like that sitting around, so I'm gonna have to ignore that. Either way, the repair is done, and you owe me a like. Goodbye.
Guys, check out my new favorite channel. It is so good. Oh my god. Look at it.